Why the hell is there an English and a Russian version of this? It's classical guitar. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are traveling forward through space, time, ladder games, and memes. This is a questionable time because we're going to continue our Bronze to GM. Bronze to GM, a place where we can slow things down. We can talk about everything that happens and may or may not happen. We're going to learn what the ladder has for us in every league in StarCraft 2 on the NA server. I'm open to build order requests. I'm open to instructing you on the very basic, most core fundamental skills in the game. We've made it to Diamond 3 Rank 9, and it's time to take even more steps along this journey. Let's push the button. Welcome. Welcome, and thank you, Blue Wing Angel, for your subscription. Slow it down. That's right, Dorak. We're going to slow things down. Just be nice and friendly. There is data being collected from these games. We have a person who is going above and beyond the Call of Duty. They're my only friend on this account, and they're going through all the matches and recording workers active, resource collection, army value, and whether or not people BM'd. Let's begin against none other than our friend Apoptosis, who is a moderator of our channel and streamed alongside me at BlizzCon, where we were the first people in the whole of the world to stream Zeratul co-op gameplay. So this is Apoptosis. And while this journey did start in Bronze, we're in Diamond now. Diamond League, from my perspective, is where pretty much everyone knows a build that makes sense for ramping up your first 5 minutes of the game. So what do you do then? What do you do if you're in Diamond and people have builds and stuff? How do you win? Well, the main thing that I learned when I was trying to go from Diamond to Masters the first time was that the essence of where I was falling behind and the Master was pulling ahead was in squeezing out just a couple extra drones at every stage of the game. Spending your money and always having your injects up. So let's try that. Let's try that. And I'm going to try to play in a slow and deliberate fashion, where we're not just hammering out as many atoms as we possibly can. Want to make it smooth and clear. I did say that during these games, if you are a viewer and you would like to snipe me as I'm going past you in MMR, you may do so and I will not be upset. So I'm rallying my main to my natural. Let's make one more drone. These overlords are looking around. We see a second overlord here. Okay, so this second overlord, being approximately where mine is, means that we can rule out the earliest cheeses. It could still be an attack. Let's pull 2 workers off gas. It could still be an attack, but it is likely one that will happen later. So let's try something this game. I want to try something with you. What we're going to do is we're going to send 2 lings into the enemy's base over and over and over again, to the point that it is utterly annoying and frustrating how scouted the opponent is. And we're just going to hold down the drone button. I'm going to be injecting as my queens come out. I'm going to take a 3rd base, and I'm going to still keep droning. What's a good thing to make if you want to drone but you don't want to die? A baneling's nest. That'll allow us to deal with huge numbers of Zerglings. Look at this. These 2 lings go in. We see a Baneling's Nest as well for the opponent. Okay. Let's make a 31 Overlord, so we have some room for activities. This gas is filled. Let's even make another Overlord. Superb. Okay. So I would prefer not to lose this base. It is hotkey. We killed that ling. Let's fall back. And now that ling speed is done, let's get value from our ling speed by making what? You guessed it. Zerglings. And some banelings. What if we did what Cyril does again? And we just send 2 Zerglings through the enemy's base. And now let's move from the Ling Bane stage to the Roach stage. I don't need to go bananas with aggression. You can, that's a very viable way to play, but I'm focusing on making drones for all of this. I'm just focusing on drones. I do have some lings. And look at this, we see 1 gas, no lair, no lair. So that means if we take a lair, that is an advantage. So I take a lair and make another Overlord, and we're gonna mass a bunch of drones. Let's send another 3 Zerglings. Look at this. I just boxed 3, put them on a hotkey, and I sent them into the enemy's base. How amazing is that? It's just a treasure. We could even put the queen here if he tries to bust in. Maybe he won't. Okay. So we scouted again, and we saw again. There's no lair, but there is what? Some gases, and I know there's a 3rd base. Cool. Let's just take a spine. Making 1 spine at the 3rd base is forgivable. I know a lot of people are very particular about, oh, you should never make spines. If you want to make a spine and feel a little bit safer, you can do that. And if the macro police come to your house and they knock on your door and they say, "Bah! Zerg should never make spines, you should make other units," just tell them that I said that they can heck off, okay? We're a little bit supply blocked, that's okay. We're still just gonna make drones. How many do I have? I have 66 drones, can you believe that? So, what can we make off 66 drones? Why not roaches? Roaches are a more larva-efficient unit than lings. So we can make roaches and overlords. Now that we're in the roach production stage, we want to make heaps of overlords. Not just 1 at a time. Not even 2 at a time. But like 5 to 6 to 7 at a time. Because roaches, they give you a ton of HP, but the downside is they cost a ton of supply. Just a ton of supply. So we need to make a ton of overlords to match. And then we'll be fine. And now we're just sitting happily in our base, just spamming roaches. This is like a Zerg player's happy place. Where you have enough roaches to not die, all of your bases are injected, you have a good economy size, maybe we could use a few more. We can take a 4th base, and we're just spamming roaches. Spamming roaches, injecting bases, and checking the supply. Take a 4th base. Spam some roaches. Check your evo, it's almost done. We get +2 ranged attack. Hotkey this base. And then, what do you know? Overlords. And then we're gonna be spamming roaches. Some people say, oh, ZVZ, it's mass roach, it's boring. It's not boring, it's beautiful. So please shut the fuck up. So now I'm going to continue spamming roaches. More overlords came out. Let's make 4 ravagers. 4 ravagers is a magical number, and the reason for that is 4 ravagers can 1-hit an overlord. So as we run around the map willy-nilly, if we see an overlord, we can use rapid fire, which there's a command for that in my channel. and Corrosive Bile, and oops, and totally miss killing the Overlord because we're bad. Oh, we got it. Okay. Let's make some more roaches. Inject all the bases. Let's send our banelings over there. Look at these. Free Overlords. Excellent. Okay. So we're near max now. So let's do the Sacred A move. Well, you see that, the opponent, they have the high ground. So we'll fall back and look for a different opportunity. You see what I just did? I boxed 11 roaches, and I used the steal command to pull them into their own squadron. So now, instead of just having one simple group of units, now I have 2 threats, and I can just pull back whichever side loses. So this allowed me to move my main army up to the high ground here, and get an advantageous position. And then, since his army is over here, these guys can go back in and look for some damage here. And then we can just use hold position. Inject, inject, inject. Clean here. Cool. So the opponent has Burrow. Do we have an Overseer? I think our Overseer died horribly to something. Okay. If we want to keep teching up, we can get a Hydra Den, Carapace, Burrow, Tunnel Claws. Keep making roaches. If the opponent is going Tunnel Claws, you can just go up to 1 spine per base. It buys you a little bit of time. GG. Cool. How's the music volume relative to me? Is it okay? Is it passable? Is it extremely loud? Is it way too quiet? Okay. Bob Ross of Zerg. Bronze to GM. I should add some tags for beginner players. Beginner players. AMA. Well, that's cool. Sure. Oh, we can have more tags now? Did they up it? Used to be you could only have 5. It's a touch loud. It's just way too loud. I can't even think right now. Can you explain how you know when Lingbane's stage is over and you can move to roaches? Yes, that's when your roach horn is done. No, it is a mysterious stage in the game, and there isn't really a single perfect answer for it, right? Because a player can technically extend the Lingbane stage for a very long time if they want to. But if you want a simple answer to a complicated question, 3 minutes 40 roach horn, and then you should be making roaches instead of banes once your roach horn is done. Yeah, it was nice playing against Apoptosis. GG, dude. Yep. The steal command is really nice. I actually replaced all of my normal add and create with the steal versions. I'll show you. Unit management. Or wait, no, is it control groups? Here it is. Yeah, I unbound the create and the add, and I used these ones. Create and take away. I just replaced them straight up. Totes my goats. Cool, dude. Now we have a Terran player on blue shift. You don't know if I chose this album. Yes, I chose this album. It is a good album. He's gonna be in Texas this year. Or soon. That's awesome. Okay. Once upon a time, the first Overlord made its way leisurely across the map, looking for whatever it could find. The Zerg set up the camera hotkeys, and then sent the second Overlord on a path this way to check for barracks and bunkers, and all of the early game Terran nastiness that might be sent our way. Hello, Mr. 5555. How are you doing? Is this a requested song or from my playlist? I'm just gonna link it for you right now, just to save everyone the confusion. There you go. And you're welcome. Estas ton. Internal Flight is the album. It's loud. It's way too loud. I can't even think right now. Okay. How's that? Thank you, Apoptosis, for updating that current song command. So once again, we're going for the old standard hatch gas pool. 17 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. Rallying 2 eggs into the gas. This Overlord is floating gracefully and peacefully and wonderfully across the map. If I click and hold the Overlord or the portrait here, it follows the unit, which is fun. It's not a super helpful mechanic, but I think for cinematic purposes, it's pretty nice. Let's make a 19 Overlord, and this one will watch this Reaper jump cliff thing. I'm making another drone up to 20. Queen, 2 lings. This space finishes, Queen, 2 lings. Okay, 92 gas, I'm pulling 1 off. Let's just pull all off gas here, just for practice. Let's focus on minerals. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Our Overlord is being shot at. We are being shot at. I am concerned and alarmed. There's no expansion here for the Terran. I am confused. Why would you not expand? It's probably something mysterious. Let's take a 3rd base. I like taking a 3rd base because it's kind of just a big move. Because a hatch is a big object, the Terran has to shoot a base a whole bunch to be able to kill it. So we're just gonna take it. I don't know if the Terran is 1 basing. I don't care if the Terran is 1 basing. I'm making big plays right now. Look at this, it's a bunch of Marines. This makes me want to pull back on gas, you know? So I can get a bailing nest. Because if they make a 1 base all-in happen, a bailing nest will allow me to spike up my supply. Let's make an Overlord at 37, and more drones. So whenever I get 50 gas, I'm gonna drop a bailing nest instantly. Let's just put it here. It adds a little bit more of an HP buffer. And then let's make another Queen. Okay, so let's see if we can get a scout in. Look at this. Look at these Marines just working so hard to deny information. Can we sneak in, though? We can sneak in here. Oh my goodness, this is just mass Marines. Amazing. We snuck into the base. This is mass. This is maximum barracks, minimum gas strategy. Okay. Okay, perfect. So, what are the upsides and the downsides right now? The upsides are, I'm way ahead economically. The downsides are, the Terran can attack me with a huge number of Marines very soon and we could die horribly. So what should we do? We have 43 workers. I think now is the time to mass a huge number of Lingbane. That's just what my intuition is telling me right now. And the reason is, if you want to macro, if you want to be really good at macro, you should know about how many workers the opponent has and try to take more than that and then flood a whole bunch of army. That's a really classic way to be successful with Zerg. So let's make a bunch of Overlords. We have 43 workers. As a reference, it's about, I don't know, like 24 workers, 26 for 1 base. And we know that this base was super late. So let's go investigate. This is an investigation into the doings of this Terran. We have a macro hatch going too. It's exciting. Let's keep making wings and stuff. Let's focus this down. Okay, so now let's fall back. And I kind of feel like maybe we want to attack. Let's inject everything. It's really good to make sure all your bases are injected and to expand before you attack, as a general rule. Let's just A move. We don't need to overcomplicate stuff. I think our composition is pretty good here against mass marines. Banelings deal bonus damage to buildings, so I'm okay with hitting Banelings into it. And now I'm just attack moving. I'm not overcomplicating this. Ling Bane is just good against marines, so we're just gonna go for it. And if you believe in yourself hard enough, then sometimes you can just attack, move, and win. Look at this. So we need to make an entrance now. And it does cost 5 Banelings to explode a supply depot. But I want to show you something. I want to show you something because sometimes Zergs are busting and they hit a supply depot with the Banes, but I'm going to hit the barracks and I'm going to show you what happens. So I'm going for this barracks, and with the splash damage it blows up both of the supply depots. So you get 2 supply depots for the price of 1. Because Banelings deal AoE damage, and AoE stands for Area of Effect. Area of Effect damage. And that means your Lings can run into the base and the opponent will leave the game faster than you can say Kansas City. It's a free supply depot. How many bronze to GM matches? You've only missed 2, we just started it. Yes, we are in Diamond League now. Diamond League, it's getting dangerous. That was an interesting style. That was like a I don't believe in taking gas until 7 minutes style. Which has some notable downsides to it. Hey Beam95, how are you doing? Hello Ko Akuma, Terminarx, Hallows, Telepathy, Roy. Kansas City is in Missouri. That is correct, Roy the Wolf. I love facts. We're just waiting. Alright, there we got somebody. Hello. Yo necesito. Which means I need in Espanol. League of Legends, really? No, I'm not going to play League of Legends. You faced the person yesterday, you thought it was a proxy, but it wasn't. Yes, but it was barracks, so you were on the right track. What is this? It's a Terran. Should we do a Ling Bane Muta demo? This is a Ling Bane Muta demo, because Ling Bane Muta is something that is just timeless. It's been around as long as ZVT has been around, at least in Legacy of the Void. And I'm gonna show you. Was it in StarCraft 1? Didn't play that. Feel free to express your outrage in the chat or in the comments of the YouTube upload of this. But Ling Bane Muta, right? A lot of people say, oh, Mutas, they're just bad. They're not, it's fine. It's just really, really difficult to play because it requires the Zerg to use multiple control groups. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like, okay? But it is playable. I do it quite a bit, even on my main account in GM, against Terrans who are like 6k, because I think it's strong. Am I going to play Warcraft 3 Reforged? Yes, sometimes. Win without gas to prove that the last guy had a point. I don't want to. Mutas are absolute meta in Brood War. Okay. So, we're doing the normal opening build. The main base is saturated fully. So we're gonna set this rally point, the orange line, over to the natural. So both orange lines are there. When the pool finishes, we're going to make 2 queens and 4 lings. This Overlord is going to be scouting around. And let's pull 2 off gas. A lot of people think mutas, and they think, I need to get a bunch of gas really fast. Which is actually false. That's actually incorrect. If you want to play Lingbane Muta, you need to get a really good economy really fast, because mutas are expensive. They're 200 resources per larva, 100 minerals and 100 gas. So I'm going to go for my 3rd base as soon as I can. This is right around 31 supply. We're injecting the 2 bases, and I'm just going to drone as hard as I possibly can without getting supply blocks. So here's an Overlord. We're putting some Overlords here so I can see harassment if it comes my way. And we're in a great spot right now. The Reaper decided to be defensive, which I'm fine with. It gives me lots of room to grow. Let's get some creep spread. We get a creep spread here. All of this larva goes into drones, except 1 goes into an Overlord. We make sure the queen energy is spent. This queen is on her own hotkey. Let's refill the gas. Right around 330 is a good time to refill it. Okay. So let's attack with the lings. Just attack at the Terran's 2nd base to see what's happening. We're trying to get a scout here. And we're getting a scout with lings instead of the Overlord. Let's make 2 Overlords. And in addition to those 2 Overlords, we can scout. We can scout with this Overlord. So I know there are at least 6 Marines. The reason that I know that is because the bunker was full. Well, maybe there's a Reaper in it. I have no idea what's happening. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably several Marines. I'm gonna still make drones. Look at this, I'm just droning. I'm just so happy to drone. I took 2 Evo chambers as my gas is getting close to 250. That means I can take a really fast 1-1 upgrades. Oh my goodness, what is this build? This is what's called a 2-1-1. That's 2 barracks, 1 factory, and 1 starport, which usually ends up being 2 medivacs with Marines to harass, to clear creep, and do stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is go for a Queen Ling defense, which is really efficient. I still have mutas in mind, but for now, we need to make some dedicated units. Let's get a Baneling nest with our next gas. Let's make lings. We want up to 30 Zerglings. 30 Zerglings and 5 or so queens on a hotkey. And then we want to look at the mini-map like a hawk, so we can see everything that happens. Let's get a macro hatch real fast. Let's get a gas. But we're in a pretty good spot right now. Our infrastructure is coming up. We see the 2 medivacs here. So I select my queen group and I right-click the medivac. Queens deal better DPS against air than they do against ground. Okay, the Terran messed up. They messed up big time. So now I can just drone freely and check off all the boxes. So what boxes do I have here? I want a 4th base. I want all of my gases. I want 2 spores in the main. I'm moving toward a convergence point right now that's going to allow me to make a ton of Mutiling Bane and hit 200 supply. And because they made a mistake, I know that they can't stop me from droning as fast as I can. So I'm just droning. All larva is going into drones. And if I want to be responsible, I can make 4 Banes. Just 4. Just enough that if the Marines stim and try to attack me really fast, I have something to say about it. Okay, so all the gases are filled. The 4th base is going. There's a bunch of creep over here, so now Queen Group, come over here. You did a good job creeping the 3rd base, now we're going to creep the 4th base. Okay, lair is done, let's get double upgrades. Let's drone the 4th base, and now I have 76 workers. Fantastic. Let's get another queen. We want every base to have a queen. We want to keep spending our money. Personally, I like going Spire before Bane speed. personally. You can make an argument for either one. Ultimately, the way you play StarCraft 2 should be a way that you feel is successful and works for you and is also fun. You can make your own way too. You don't have to do what I say. You don't have to do what anyone says. You can do whatever the heck you want. Isn't that great? The joy of playing a 1v1 game. Okay, so we're just making sure everything is injected. And this is kind of similar to the Roach game, right? Where if we have room, we can just macro and hit 200 supply. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to do anything. I'm not obligated to attack my opponent because I have a clear idea for what my max out is going to look like. And if they're letting me get there, I have nothing to be afraid of. I can just enjoy the music that's playing, make sure my bases are injected, try to spend my larva as best I can, and spread creep. Isn't that relaxing? It's the best. Oh my goodness. Our forces are under attack, so let's make Banes. A few Overlords take attack from the Spire. Okay, Queens run back. The Wings are coming. We can go a little bit past the Marines. Okay. So now I feel safe to make a Mutaflock. Excellent. Good job, Spores. Isn't having 2 Spores in the main nice? They just did most of the work. Well, we didn't get to make the Mutas, but they were about to come out. So these Mutas you can see are in a different control group than my main army. And what I would generally do is use my main army to be defensive on creep, and then I use my Mutaflock to fly over here across the map, being careful of Marines and that kind of thing. And behind my Muta Harass, I would take a 5th base and an Infestation Pit, so I could go for Hive, so I could get Ultra Cavern, Greater Spire, Infestors, and 3-3. All of those cool upgrades. Wingbane Muta. Concordia, thank you for the 4 months in a row. Simstantine, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Oh wow. Oh wow. Well, that was fun. A little bit of Wingbane Muta, didn't quite get to the Mutas. Good luck, have fun, Apoptosis. What's up, Alpha Prometheus? You woke up at 9 AM to watch Neuro. Awesome. What's up, Knight Rider? How are you? How good is air armor versus Marines? It's pretty good. I know Tilia has gone for a style where she takes armor upgrades on Mutas prioritized above attack upgrades, but she'll usually take both. If you're gonna do that, usually you're pretty committed to having a very, very big Mutaflock, as opposed to a transitionary Mutaflock. The bare minimum of Mutas against Terran is usually 5, because 5 is enough to be able to kill Liberators pretty quick and also one-hit Workers. Some people like making around 10 Mutas, just enough to be controlling air, the different kinds of like drop harassment and stuff that Terran can go for. You can also go for 15. 15 is enough that you can be one-hitting the Widow memes before they go off. Sorry, window memes. As long as you have detection, you can do that. And then, if you really want to go hard, you could make 20 or just as many Mutas as you want. But that gets pretty dicey. It's one of those things of like, how much suspense do you want in your game? Because it can all be over in 2 seconds to some Thors or window memes if your Mutaflock is massive and you lose it. This is a Protoss opponent. Has anyone ever said you look like Fabio? Is that in the list? Nidus are gonna come back. Yeah, I think they'll be more prevalent in the meta. I don't think they're bad right now, but there'll definitely be more of them. Lingbane Hydra is more common than Lingbane Muta right now. Okie dokie. Thanks for the great channel. You and Shagrash inspired you to play again despite the handicap. That's awesome. Thanks for hanging out, I appreciate you. What do you think about Gasless versus Protoss? Ooh, I think you should talk to Vibe about that. I did actually get some in-person coaching with Vibe. The weekend of TwitchCon. He showed me how to open up Gasless against Protoss. I can definitely see the merits of it. You can drone faster with Gasless than you can with Gas. But you don't have map control in the same way that you can harass with some early speedlings and stuff. So I would probably recommend maybe someone can link his channel. If you ask him, he probably has a video on it or something. Something along those lines. Yeah, that's his jam. Oh my goodness, it's a Twilight Council build. Oh my goodness. Okay. So against a Twilight Council build, going for roaches is usually the safest bet. So I'm going to show you a roach progression and talk you through it. Maybe I can do Gasless next time I get Protoss. I actually have the build on my phone. I wrote it down when he told me. It's not going to be perfect, but I could take a crack at it. So I made all drones and one Overlord just then with my larva. And 3:30 is when we go back on gas. Let's just rally 2 of these eggs in. And then make 2 Overlords for the main. So I can see prisms and stuff like that. I'm gonna make another queen. Send those 2 queens over there. What do we see? More gateways. Let's scout with this. 345 Lair. And I'm just gonna hold down the drum button. There are no gases here. No gases. Why are there no gases? Is there a third base? No, there's no base here. Is there a base over here? Let's make an Overlord and more drones. This base passed 16 workers, so I'm going to take 2 gases and a roach warren. Inject, creep spread. Okay, let's keep checking. Where is your third base? Oh my goodness, it is a great many adepts. My roach warren is not done, so let's mass a bunch of Zerglings. Move out of the way, Overlords. I'm trying to macro here. Thank you. Okay. So we want to have queens at the front of our creep so that we can greet the adepts when they arrive at our base. And then the lings will assist as they are able to. There it is done. Okay, so the queens are greeting the adepts. And then the lings can go in and they surround. And then the queens can participate once again. Okay, I'm going to try and kill these. We'll get roach speed. And then now, one of the really fun ways that we can utilize all of the assets that we possess is to go for Overlord speed and a queen drop in addition to a push. Because a lot of times you get a bunch of supply in queens and it's like, wow, queens are great, but it's hard to attack with them. It is hard, but if you get Overlord speed and you build a helicopter, then you can put the queens into the helicopter and transport them from one place to another. So let's see if we can make that happen live for you here today. I have these queens on a hotkey. I also have this Overlord on a hotkey. Let's make sure this Overlord is generating creep. We're going to send it across the map and then mass a ton of roaches, and they're going to meet the queens as they arrive. So let's get everyone together. Come on, everyone. The Overlord with the queens. I'm going to have queens at all of our expansions. I want to make a bunch of Overlords, so we have room for activities. And then now, we want to look out for a third base. Where is the third base? I do not see a third base, but there could be a hidden third base. Making roaches. Taking Ravagers. Excellent. That is quite a few sentries. Okay. The Queens can focus this Warp Prism, which is great. And it gives us a way to pressure air that we wouldn't normally have. Superb. GG. Chat told on me. Eh. I think that's right. Yeah. I recommend Aor at stream. He's a very upstanding individual in the scene. Hello, Fuzzy Cord. How are you doing? Helicopter build. Tumor the base. Thank you for linking Vibe Stream, Asian Glow. Who said he looked like Sid the Sloth? Someone did. I wasn't even mad, I was amazed. Oh man. Chicken Man got a whole bunch of faces for me from the Pylon show. How do you do, Hungry? No problems. We're almost to Diamond 2. Diamond 2. I think they changed the ladder. I mentioned this before, but I believe that your MMR used to account for win streaks. It doesn't seem like it does anymore. Because if you've won 17 games in a row, I think the ladder should figure out that maybe you're a little bit too low in your ranking. Maybe. Neuro Cowboy is your favorite. Okay, a ZVZ here. Excellent. Do you want to see a 12 pool expand build guide? I'm kind of in the mood for that. Who is Björn? That is a Viking. It means bear in Swedish, but it's a name inspired by the character from the Vikings TV show. Do you want a 12 pool expand? Okay. So the nice thing is you don't have to build a drone at the beginning. Okay. Björn Ironside. You lost the first game in... Actually, I did. Because I was massing spines and the opponent went carriers. And no amount of micro is going to save you there. A rather humbling experience, but I think it's good because it illustrates an aspect of the game. You only know how to do the gas version. Welcome to the stream. Hey, what's up, Concordia? Emo Turtle. Dalai? Am I doing bronze to master, or bronze to GM currently? Yes, I am. Go. Let's go. Okay. So now we're gonna drone up to 14 to an Overlord. Simple. It's a simple build. This is also a good build if you don't like Ling Bane. Ling Bane versus Ling Bane. Some people, it's just not their jam. 14 Overlord here. That's fine. It's not your jam. So I'm just resting right now. We are supply blocked at 14 out of 14. That is intentional. When this pool finishes, we're going to make 6 lings, so we are saving up 3 larvae on the floor. Okay. Okay, we got our lings, and then now let's send a worker down to the natural. And I want to make another pair of lings, and right after that, I want to take this space. Perfect. So I am expanding. This isn't a fully committed cheese build. I have these lings on move command, and then I can attack, shift attack. You just want to make sure all the units are getting across the map. And I'm gonna drone all the way, or sorry, make lings all the way up to 22 out of 22. Let's do it. And then once we hit 22, we're gonna make a spine crawler here. This is gonna be the anchor for our 2 base economy once we get there. Okay. And then now as we're supply blocked at 22 out of 22, okay, we're gonna attack anytime the drones choose to attack us like this. They didn't pull enough. You're supposed to pull... Anyways. You're supposed to pull 15. If it was the defensive Zerg's position, they would want to box and get 15 workers. You can see it on the command card if you hotkey them. And they would want to mineral walk down like this by clicking this patch, so they stack up really nice. And then whenever they want to attack, they can mineral walk this base, and then attack move and sort of surround my lings before they get to a large number. But 12 pool is a nice build. It's a nice build. Thank you, Sea of Whiskey, for the cheer. Oh, it's placement matches for someone. Well, unfortunately, we didn't really get to do the build very much. It's an extremely strong build. And like a lot of the casters have said in tournaments, in ZVZ, if you 12 pool expand, it is a macro opening in the sense that it's not a fully committal cheese, and it intends to set the opponent off balance with your lings and then move into 2 base economy with queen spine and drones. Defending it is pretty hard. The thing about the spine too is that if they happen to go for something aggressive, you can still defend stuff with queen spine. Why would you not go for a 12 pool? If someone knows you're going to do it every game, they can open to counter it somewhat. But it's one of those builds that's really good to mix in here and there. And the ladder has a lot of different unique opponents, where you don't really face the same person that many times in a row at most levels of play. So if you wanted to 12 pool every ZVZ, you could do that. There's actually a NA player, goes by the name of Wind, who has been doing 12 pool since as long as I've been playing at this level, like a Master GM level. And they're very good at it. And I know that they're gonna go for it, and sometimes I still lose to it, because they practice it so many times. And to give you a quote, Bruce Lee said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 1,000 kicks one time. I fear the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times." 12 pool expand is a kick. And Wind has practiced it. Have you done any martial arts? I've done boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I do not have formal training in those, but I have done a lot of sparring. Is the spine to prevent any counterattacks? Yes, that is exactly what it's for. It's an anchor. It allows you to really safely and aggressively drone your bases. Spines are going to be really strong in the early game, before upgrades come into play and when supply amounts are low. Are there even 1,000 kicks? Probably. I would guess that most of them are not very efficient, if you're talking about that many. "14 pool gas beats it and contains it." Okay, we've got a barracks reactor factory. This is an interesting build. Let's get ling speed and pull off. And I'm still droning. Normally, I would think that this would be Marines. Do you want to see a Baneling bust? No. But no. I can't decide. Help me. Should we Baneling bust? We Baneling busted before. This is how every Terran opens in Diamond versus Zerg. Oh. What? Excellent. Baneling bust, okay. You can still get a third base and stuff, though. That's the thing, right, is back in HOTS, a Baneling bust used to be like, lol, I have to commit everything, but now it's kind of like, you can do a lot of pressure moves and still drone behind them and have a plan B. Having a plan B, I think, is one of the best habits you can develop as a player. So let's just articulate that right now. So our plan A is to make a bunch of lings. Let's make lings until our Bane Nest is done. And then after that, we're gonna go back to droning and we're gonna drone our third. So plan A is to attack with Ling Bane. Plan B is gonna be to drone the third base. Okay. Do you think they would brave the ramp here? So we're droning our third now. Hellions like this is technically the counterplay to Ling Bane. It's part of the reason why Ling Bane busting isn't good every game. So we're droning our third now. We weren't really able to deal huge damage. Oh, and this is fully walled off. Excellent. It's a good thing we had a plan B, because their plan is pretty good against ours. Alright. Let's fill the gas. Keep the creep spread going. And this does look a little bit like mech. This is a lot of Hellions and Marines and stuff. Okay, I'll take that. Let's get a lair. What do we see? Bunch of Marines. I'm guessing this is going to be Heckbats. So let's get some Banes. Just try to defend this stuff. Oh my goodness, we may save the Overlord. It's a miracle. Let's make one spore per base. Just to do our diligence. You can't always Baneling bust. I mean, you can try, but it's not always a good idea. This game, it's going to be better to just drone. Just drone up. Let's put one Zergling, shift-click the lings, shift-click a ling, shift-click a ling, shift-click a ling, shift-click a ling, and then control, we're going to rebind the group. So now look at the mini-map. We have one happy little Zergling at every potential expansion. 1, 2, 3, right click, 1, 2, 3, and then click here. So just some efficient mechanics. And then now the drones are gonna naturally saturate the space. Let's take a fourth. Look at this, but we have a good economy, want to make roaches. Let's make 8 overlords. Throw inhibition to the wind. We will simply construct a heck ton of overlords. Make sure the macro hatch is hotkeyed. We have 65 workers. Let's Overseer Scout, just so we can see what is about. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a creep waterfall. It's like a jump over the wall creep spread maneuver. This is highly technical. Oh my goodness, ruined. This is a disaster. Pull the drones away. please stop roasting my drones. Let's make a heap of roaches. Just tons of them. Okay. Look at this. Mass factories. 2 reactors, but most of them have... Sorry, 2 tech labs, but most of them have reactors. Saying words while playing video games is difficult. Okay. So now we can use our Roach Bane. Let's drone the 4th base, because we have this location under control. We're gonna move command ahead of those. Okay. Awesome. Notice here, around 8 minutes, our main base is mining out. It says 12 out of 12, because some of the patches no longer exist. They just don't exist anymore, because we've mined all of that. All of that. Let's make another heap of 9 overlords. Because our economy is in pretty good shape. We have lots of income. Let's get 2 upgrades. What are these drones? What are you doing? Oh my goodness, Control-Shift click those drones and then Control rebind the group. We don't want the drones in the army. You're supposed to harvest resources so that we can construct additional roaches. Oh my goodness, it's a mass blue flame Hellion strategy. And there are siege tanks. Okay. So, what can we do against this? Because this is dangerous. It may be frightening to some, but you don't need to be that scared. Maybe just a little bit scared. Because we can drop the base. We can deliver roaches unto our foe until they are no more. You see that? And we can also A-move with our army. Look at this. We can drop these and these and then A-move and win the fight. Wow. That was beautiful. Do you want me to show you what that micro procedure was like? I didn't articulate it, but I should. Saved. You see that? Okay, so this is how it works mechanically. So I have these overlords in their own control group. They're in a control group and I just put the roaches in. So I can hit the drop overlord control group and move it around wherever I want to. And then when I want to unload the units, I'm not sure if my webcam is blocking this. Is it blocking this? Can you see this? My chair is blocking it. Can I do this? Can I do this? No chair. Do you see this button? This. This is the button. No, it's this button. Unload all. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting my overlord and then I'm using this hotkey, whatever hotkey this is bound to for you, and I press this button on my keyboard and then I click the overlord, which tells the overlord unload your units right now. And you can even do that as you're moving. Would you believe that? Did you know that about dropping? That's how I did that. This looks awkward. It is awkward. It's uncomfortable, but this is important. I'm trying to be helpful right now. So I'm going to say it again. You have your drop overlords on a hotkey. You select them. You press the hotkey for unload all, and then you click an overlord, press this button again, click an overlord, press this button on your keyboard again, click an overlord, and the units will drop from the overlord and you can still keep them moving around. Excellent. Now you know. Oh my goodness. Wow. We made it. We made it through a league. I used the core hotkey layout. Use the command for the core if you would like to know more. Hello, Ildred. Diamond 2 rank 1. Heck yes. I'm officially at your MMR. It's an honor to be here with you. Is that the same way the fancy drops the Terrans do while it's moving? Yes. I welcome stream sniping, that's fine if you want to do that. It is this button. Indeed. Thank you for all the follows, everyone. I appreciate you. Okay, we're up against Terran. Let's do a 16 hatch. 16 hatch is something you've seen a lot more pro Zergs do. Really in all of the matchups. And the reason for it is, and I learned this from Vibe actually, the hatchery has a different amount of armor when it's building than it does when it's complete. I did not know this, but it is the case. If you don't believe me, you can test it. So, getting that hatch down earlier does a bunch of different things for you, but at a small cost. So the cost to get that out of the way is a little bit less mineral income in the very earliest part of the game. What are the benefits, though? Well, for one, the armor value of this base increases earlier. For two, it gives you a little bit more larva, because your larva creation begins as soon as this base finishes. It also means both of your queens will finish at the same time, which is just nice, it just feels good. Oh my goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire, we are being proxied, and we may get to demonstrate the benefit of having a faster hatch right now. Okay, so let's pull off gas with 100, and I'm gonna show you what I'll lovingly refer to as Solar's defense. So, Solar is a very good Zerg, and the way that he deals with this crap is he just makes lings and queens up to around 33 supply. 33 supply, no Overlord just yet. And you pull them up, you make a tumor with this one, you inject with this one, and you put these two queens on a hotkey, and then you get a bunch of your drones, you tell them to go down here, and then everyone participates, and then we all work together. The queens focus the SCVs, and the drone ling tries to deal with these nasty bunkers. You see that? So we're just making lings. The queens and the lings are working together. Okay, let's pull the drones back now. Alright. The queens are DPSing this down. DPS. And then now let's go back to droning because we've cleared it out. We did lose a bunch of drones. Let's follow this Marine, see if he's going to show us where the barracks are. He did. Okay, so these lings will attack this, and now it's all about drones. So what we did was we traded a bunch of drones for being able to keep our base intact. So both our main and our natural are intact right now. We have two queens, we have tons of larvae. So we're going to pressure this wall while we drone as fast as we can. And it's going to effectively turn into a macro game. So let's do the normal macro stuff. 31 supply, make an Overlord. And then go back to droning. And then tab out and go select the music because the playlist ended and you want to keep music going. And then you tab back in, inject, and keep making drones. The Overlord's going to finish. And you can send another drone to go take a third base pretty soon. And then it's almost like the cheese didn't even happen. It's like the game regressed into a normal macro match. Even though we were viciously cheesed at our natural expansion by bunkers and marines and SCVs. That was a thorough dismantling of my adept push. Hey, what's up, Aorit? I'm a big fan of your stream. It was good playing against you. Yes, I scouted it. I scouted the Twilight, and then I scouted the Adepts, so then I made Zerglings and defended. But that is a good build. On that map, I think it's weaker than on small maps, if you want my personal feedback there. So like Blue Shift, Fracture, and what's the other one? Dreamcatcher. If I had to say the maps where it would be best on, I would say those maps. Parasite is just so big. It's kind of like Prism stuff is good because you get to teleport rather than Shade. Shade still means you have to cover the distance, like physically or spiritually. Oh, there's a window meme. Alright, well, we're just in a macro game now. I mean, nothing too strange here. The Lings can just sit. We'll just sit at this base. And now we're just in the macro race. Look at how many minerals we have. Let's take a macro hatch. Screw it. Don't worry about it. What is this? Marines. 2 Overlords. Okay, we're just making Overlords and drones. Let's make some Evo chambers. Heck it. Alright. Have you talked about the new map pool announced yet? I don't even know what it is. Do you want to link it? We can talk about it. I bet it's gonna be good. Oh my goodness, how many workers do we have? 60. Holy heck. Excuse my language. Woo. Are you gonna take expansion? There was a base here. Let's get double upgrades from the Evo chambers. Let's just get 1 spore at each base, just to be responsible. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a 4th base coming up here. This queen can go stationed by the 4th base so that as soon as it's done, she can inject it immediately. Isn't that beautiful? There's something beautiful about that. Let's fill all the gases. Let's get Lings. How many work? 64. Wow. We just held down the drone button. Amazing things happen sometimes when you do that. Okay. Let's inject the macro hash and then shift move here. A lot of getting fast at StarCraft isn't about physically becoming faster as a person. It's about lumping different actions together into single steps. So like you have the idea of, I want to make Overlords. You can just hold down the button with rapid fire and you crank out a whole bunch without needing to physically mash your keyboard over and over again. Same thing with Lings. You just select Hatch's larva and then hold down the button and then shift Atom into the group. You're good to go. What are you doing? Check out this rapid fire creep spread. It's not that I'm super fast spamming my keyboard, I just held the button and I wave my cursor. I have a command for how to do rapid fire. And that's a big part of raising your APM. Just thinking about, I want to do these things together. Oh my goodness, we're being brutally attacked by a single Viking. Lair is done, let's get a Spire. Let's get Baneling speed. Let's make Lings. Because we have a pretty good economy right now. Okay, come on Queen, shoot him. Good job. Let's get some more of this. Hold down the button. Creep. If you want to be as efficient as possible, you can put it on the very last spot. I would say it's not super important, but it does squeeze a little bit more value out of your creep. So I just queued up 2 injects here. That's another way of combining some steps. Let's mass lings. I'm just massing lings. Let's break rocks. Heck rocks, right? Heck 'em. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just massing lings. Just tons of them. Okay. Creep goes all the way to the last hex. 1, 2. Camera 2. Box. Camera 3. Box. Camera 4. Box. Let's take a 5th base. Why not? Oh my god, the spire is done. We just made 14 mutas at once. Let's rally them together. Let's take Overlord speed. 2 more Overlords. We have Bane speed, yes. Overseer for the mutas. Let's move a queen to the 5th base. Take an infestation pit. You're fairly new to this stream. You stumbled upon it. I hope you're not injured. Your first impression is Neuro is cool AF, and I can learn a lot from him. Well, I thank you for being here. Please enjoy your stay. Don't forget to follow. Unless you don't want to follow, then don't follow. Just don't do it, okay? So I have a bunch of mutas now. Oh my god, run for your life. Okay. So now I'm maxed, which means I can't make additional units unless I do the secret move. The secret move, which I may get in trouble for telling you right now. This is the secret Zerg move. This is something that the other races cannot physically do, but Zerg can do. So watch this. Do you see this? So these are spore crawlers, and it consumes their drone to make us But look! We canceled them after we made links, so we have 212 supply. Look at this. So now we can just A-move back here with 212 supply, and they're dead. Wow. It's the spore trick. Yes! Were you against I? Lemao? No, that was against a Diamond Diamond 1, Diamond 2 player? Diamond 2 player. He fouled on creep. Okay, time to jump on and donate my ladder points to Neuro. Thank you for the donation. Neuro, are you gonna play Warcraft III? Neuro, can you please tell me to write an essay? Frack, at this time, please close the stream and write your goddamn essay. Just get it out of the way. If you finish it fast, you can come back, but you need to write your essay, okay? Neuro League of Legends. No, it's Neuro Starcraft. Thank you. Mega Dancer Zulfarak. Never mind. Go look, have fun. I was just trying to be silly. But it wasn't funny, was it? League of Legends. Why do they keep focusing on League of Legends? I don't even stream that game. You work in 5 hours, how exciting. Not as exciting as working in 4 hours. This is good to start your own GM career. Isn't it though? I used to be a bronze player like you, but then I watched someone do a bronze to GM, and then I just got GM. Psh, easy. Psh. I heard my name. Say my name when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You ain't running games. Say my name, say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't calling me baby. Why the sudden change? Yeah. Okay. So the opponent has 2 overlords, so I'm not really concerned about cheese. It's fine. Who do you want a 2-base Muta? Uni in 30 minutes? No. University with an exam in 30 minutes. That is 70% of, that is 100% of your final grade. And it's not open book. And it's timed. Bunch of people like, oh no. What is this? 6 Zerglings? Let's just do a 2-base Muta. I'll show you. Just do a nice, simple build. A simple strategy here. Let's make a 32 Overlord. Look at this. How many lings is this? Goodness gracious. I put the queens on hold position. Do the squat dance with the song Neuro, come on. What? What is that? I'm just making drones. The lings are running home. Let's take a lair. Okay, let's keep making drones. We need another Overlord. Oops. Overlord. Let's make 2. 1, 2. Let's make 2 safety banes, and then let's use these lings to scout like Cyril. Just like Cyril does, except we're bad. But just like it, you know? Still just slamming out drones. 100-word essay, that ain't an essay, but you just called it an essay. I'm seeing some inconsistency here. Oh my goodness, what is this? It's a Roach Warren. Okay. Okay. Let's make some Overlords and take a 3rd base. And a Spire. As soon as we get that 200 gas. 200 gas. It's great. Boom. Got the Spire. Got the 3rd base. And now, oops. And now we can make some Zerglings. Let's use this queen to keep spreading creep. Oh my goodness, it's a fast 3rd base, and they're making drones. Okay, this is gonna be tough. This is a good player. They know how to build things and also stuff. So I'm gonna send my lings here. I do know there are a few banelings in the video game, so I need to be cautious. I could also take a Evo Chamber for melee. I could also thank Kalmanak for subscribing. Kalmanak, you're who I think you are, right? Friend of Tebow Baggins, right? I didn't connect that until you told me. I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't need to say who you are if you prefer me not to, but if you are the person who I think of, who I think you are, it was awesome hanging out with you. That is correct. That is correct. Oh man. Hang on. I got you. I got you. I dub the Sir Kalmanak, Knight of the Realm. May your blades never dull. Oh. Oh, T-Bow Baggins, you're not getting off that easy. I dub thee Sir T-Bow Baggins. Also a knight of the realm. Look at these mutas. DPS. DPS. Alright. Let's see if we can hang on here. Bunch of roaches coming up. Okay, Mutus, DPS. These roaches have no upgrade. Message deleted. Oh my goodness, everyone. Message depleted. Everyone is getting banned all at once. Oh my goodness. T-Bow and Kalmanak were just building up all of that righteous friendship to one key moment where I mod both of them and they just annihilate the chat. I'm not even mad, I'm amazed. Message defeated. Okay, let's get the Baneling speed upgrade. Oh, what? No. How many Hydras do you have? There's no roach speed. What? Let's just send the Zerglings. Oh, there's the Hydrogen. That is exposed. So I'm clicking the ground here to make sure they're all concentrating their firepower. They all fire together. Okay. Well, let's make some D. I'm not sure what this letter is indicating here. Let's go to the 4th base. Let's spread the creep. Well. So here we're controlling the area between the bases with the mutas. I would prefer not to fight spores. I can just control this area, get my +2 attack, get another queen here. And then a nice follow-up would be going for ultras. We'd go Infestation Pit, another Evo. How many Hydras do you have? It's only 3. Okay, we could focus those down. Yeah, just... Again, now we're controlling a different area between the bases. GG. Love you too, fam. Okay, GG. What's up, Virus? How are you doing? Got him. Yo, T-Bow Baggins and Kalmanak had a blast talking to you guys. Some of the best conversation that I had. Good to have you back. How was BlizzCon? BlizzCon was awesome. It was awesome. I saw a lot of people who I adore in the community. And I met a lot of people who I hadn't met in person before, and now I'm huge fans of them. These are the new maps. Oh shit. Excuse my language. News Blizzard maps. Did you see the Pylon show? Who saw the Pylon show tonight? Press 2. Season 3 will end soon, which means everyone will be sad. Oh, Stasis, Automaton, Kairos Junction, Port Alexander. Oh, I think I did see these. Cool. Well, we can maybe practice these maps in a little bit. Like, probably not today, but before the season comes out, we could ask some people for customs. Oh, here's an idea. What if we, when we do our banter battles against Pig, what if we just played on the new maps? Does that sound awesome? You thought that I would start running into people who are somewhat near my level in Diamond, but you're blowing them out of the water. StarCraft has a ton of skill in it. So, Diamond to GM is a massive difference. Even low GM to high GM is a massive difference. Even high NA GM to Korean GM is a massive difference. Even Korean GM to high Korean GM is a massive difference. Even the best Korean players in the world to Cyril is a massive difference. Got him. It's okay, I have evidence to substantiate my claim. Slammed. Not much difference between gold and plat, if you say so. What is the matchup? Oh, it's random. That didn't help me. Okay, it's Zerg, we can tell, because of the Overlord. Okay, what do you want to see this game? Just give me some ideas. Did I miss anything? Mass Muta, we did that last game. The Overlord Nidus. Lurker play. We could do Lurker Nidus. That's a thing. That's kind of what Rogue tried to do to Cyril. That's expensive though. So as a game plan becomes sufficiently expensive, the focus on drones increases, right? Is there... What is this? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, that is a fast third base. Ooh. I think they cut a queen to do that. Okay, that's fine. I do want to get a third. But this is going to be kind of annoying. Okay. So now we're going to be droning. We're going to be droning and droning. There's no queen at this third yet. Inject, inject. I'm still droning and droning. And droning and droning. So now we're at that crucial time where bling speed is going to be kicking in here pretty soon. So let's make some... Let's make an Evo and a lair, but then also a couple Banes. Okay, that is a heap of Lings. Let's make more than a couple Banes. This is going to be kind of dicey. So hang on, everyone. Fasten your seatbelts. Hatches larva drones. Hatches larva Lings right now. What do you do with Stalker Colossus, Roach Hydra Viper? Colossi are countered very hard by Vipers. I'm just move commanding my Banes. Okay, this is a pretty good player. So I'm just attack moving with my Lings, and I'm move commanding my Banes. Lair is going. I feel like the pressure has eased off a little bit. So let's go back to economy. Focusing on economy right now. We can mass a bunch of Banes to be safe. How many Banes do you have? Let's get a queen at the third. Great. Okay, so the plan was Lurker Nidus, correct? Correct. It was. So we need a lot of drones, quite a bit of gas. Okay. So they defended my attack, but I was making a heck ton of drones during that. Like tons. And I got a spine. So I want to watch the minimap. Do we see attacks coming across? We don't, really. Let's keep making drones. Change the rally point from the natural to the third because the space is perfectly saturated. Okay, we see a ton more Lings. Let's make more Banes. Tons more Lings. Need some defense. get one of those. Let's hold position this queen here so she's protected. Oh, they're using hold position too. This is quite a good player. I feel like they're rather knowledgeable in the ways of Ling Bane. I can respect that. I'm just droning this base super hard. I can fix the saturation later. We have 65 workers now. Let's get +2 ranged attack. And I also want to get an Overseer Scout, because this is going to tell me what tech and stuff they're going for. I don't actually know yet, aside from lots of Ling Bane. So I'm going to be filling these gases. Make sure everybody's nice and injected. Let's just get a Hydra upgrade. Okay. So we are very far ahead in drones and gas. Let's take a look here. Okay. Macro hatch. Spire. What is the tech? What do we see? No. I see queens. See. Okay, this changeling can help scout. Aha! Also a Hydra Den. Okay. Let's build a Nidus network and a fourth base. Awesome. So we have the Lurker Den. We have some Hydras. Our bases are injected. Let's just be nice and safe. Put one spine per base. I know a lot of times, like, if you're min-maxing at high GM, you don't want to do this, but this is just to demonstrate that you don't need every single drone. You can make things a little bit easier on yourself, and that's okay. So let's make a heck ton of Lurkers, but we also want to set up a distraction. So I just used the steal command to put these lings on a different hotkey, and I'm going to rally them around the map and into the enemy base. This is my plan. And then I'm going to put the stuff in the Nidus, and we're going to Obi-Wan Kenobi the opponent. This is called the Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if anyone saw the documentary about the Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, those were the Jedi. And what they did was they used a lightsaber, and they were like kung fu fighting each other, you know? So let's see if we can Obi-Wan Kenobi our way to the victory screen. We're just rallying tons of stuff into this Nidus network. There's the exit. So we have the Lurkers in first and then the other stuff after. And now we do the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Can you believe that? We can even do another. Okay, this is great. Okay, great, look! The Lurkers emerge, and then they can control the ramp. And then if they control the, you see that? Obi-Wan Kenobi. They can't get up. And then there's just a hell portal here that just all kinds of stuff. And then we could Nidus here. That's the Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's the Nidus network, indeed. Dun, 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 dun. This person seemed like a Zerg main, if I had to guess. No, it's a Terran main? It's a Terran main. Oh, they're 4.7 with Terran. Nice. Respect. What's up, Colt? Colt the Handsome. Chibi Miharu! Welcome. Thank you for hosting. I hope you had not just a nice stream, not just a great stream, I hope you had a monumental and legendary broadcast, the likes of which the world has never seen before. You caught me working on my Bronze to GM stream. We hit Diamond 2 recently. Moving toward Diamond 1. Nice and quick. We were on the Pylon show earlier, and then we did some GM Zerg games with commentary. Now we're just taking it easy. Trying to focus on the basics. The fundamentals of StarCraft Part 2, Legacy of the... Oh my god, what the hell? Okay, so we 16 hatch against Protoss because we hate getting probe blocked. And oh my god, this probe. Here's how it works, right? And this is what's sort of called the IQ test. Here's how it works. The Protoss, if they want to block a 16 hatch on this map, they have to send a probe at the beginning of the game even before they build a pylon, which cuts into their production and the efficiency of their build. But the reward is, it makes the Zerg player very upset, because they have to expand elsewhere. So I took my base over here. The other option is you can go gas and pool in your main base, but that's a little bit less economical. So we're just going to do what Cyril did. In the BlizzCon finals, Stats did this to Cyril multiple times, and Cyril said, you know what? I'm not going to sweat it too much. I'll just take my second base where my third base is, and my third base where my second base is. So let's try this. What's up, Sir Duke Nukem? Strongest handshakes in all of Canada. Okay. Okay, so now let's transfer some workers here. And make some links. I don't see the probe. Okay, we also don't see warp gate research here, and it's 220, so I'm going to go into the main base. I think it's going to be a Stargate. That is my thought. So now let's focus on drones. And another thing I actually noticed about Cyril was this, the gateway. I noticed that when he gets his base blocked, oh my god, it's a Stalker. And a Twilight. It's fine. So we're gonna use a creep tumor here. Because, heck, I don't know why. I'm upset, Oscar died. I named my overlords and it was killed. I need a moment of sadness. Okay, I'm better. So what's happening now is Protoss is going to be going for something involving a complete wall off and a chrono boost on warp gate research. So we refill gas at 330. We're making more queens. We want to take a lair and a roach warren. That's just the solid go-to. So lair and a roach warren. Because that's the way of saying, hi, I'm Zerg, and you're Protoss, and I don't want to die horribly to a gateway all in. So I get lair and a roach warren before 4 minutes. And then right around this economy size, we'll get a couple more gases. Just a couple more gases. And then some overlords. Again, I don't know the economy size. All I know is that it's going to be highly inconvenient for the opponent to take a third base. So I'm going to move these units out of my army control group, and they're just going to sit on the map for vision so I can see what's happening. Or at least increase my chances of seeing what's happening. Let's mass roaches. I'm blind, I don't know what's happening. But I do know the opponent walled off 2 bases, which is concerning me. I also know that I need to build overlords because I'm supply blocked. I also know that roach speed allows my roaches to run faster. So, despite everything that's happened so far, I have some direction, and I'm gonna push buttons as fast as I possibly can to achieve something. I'm not sure what. So all of my bases, keep those injected. Just slamming out roaches, continuing to make overlords. Okay, the Stalker is out of the base, which means either a warp prism helped it out or they killed a building to get out. Both of those are silly, but that's fine. It's okay to be silly. I'm silly sometimes too. I'm just making roaches. That's the extent of my logic right now. I'm Zerg, I have a roach warren. I'm scared, I'm making roaches. And links. Whenever I run out of gas, oh my god. Everyone, gather together. Okay. Queens, focus the medivac, roaches. Just attack move. Maybe do this. Wow, isn't this intense? It is, though. Where is the prism? Did it die? Oh my goodness, the Stalker is brutally attacking my Overlord. Oh no, the prism is not dead. This is exciting. Who gets excited by the Zealot meme? I think it's one of the best builds. Transfuse. Okay. Well, we lost some queens, but queens can be remade. Just like the sword in the Lord of the Rings movie. It was like broken and stuff, and they were like, hey, can you fix this? And they were like, sure! So they fixed it, and then Aragorn was all like, "Rah!" And then all the orcs like, ah! And then they won. See that? That's just what this is like. But instead of a sword that's being reforged by Elrond in Rivendell, you just lost your queens and you remake them. So now I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing, of spamming roaches. Isn't that's just a joy. What do you think the Protoss is gonna do this time? Do you think they're gonna mix it up? With a different strategy? Who thinks they're gonna do something different? Who thinks they're gonna send Zealots into the base once again? Well, for those of you who guessed that it was going to be more Zealots, you are correct. What do you think about the new vacuum cleaner? I haven't seen any Terran gameplays with the test match of the vacuum cleaners. Oh my goodness! Does it count if it's on the ramp? Does what count if it's what? You were wrong, sorry. Apology accepted. Oh my goodness, we have the same opponent this time. You were wrong. Everyone's wrong sometimes, except the people who are never wrong. They're just delusional. It's a rematch here. Do you think this player would send a probe early enough to block a 15 hatch? Let's test. Let's put our opponent to the test. How does that sound? So I'm just gonna make one drone, and then I'm gonna watch my money, and when I get 200, I'm gonna pull this happy drone down. Lord of the memes. Do you like... Well, I don't know what that is. What is that? Yep, they blocked a 15 hatch. That is inspiring. XD. XD. Chips. Yeah, tortilla chips, salt and vinegar chips. Wow. Might need it at 14. Computer chips. Ouch. That just hurts my teeth reading that. Okay. So we pulled 2 off gas. We oh, whoa, what? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, is it this build? I think this is the double adept into quick oracle thing. Okay, so I'm gonna need more lings against this. And I think I just want to go in with Overlord. Scout him and route him, you know? Okay. So this one will inject, this one will creep spread. Ling speed is about halfway done. I think Proxy Oracle is a decent meme here. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but if I make a few lings, I should have map control. So, Oracles can swoop in at around 4 minutes, so if we want to be responsible, this should be a good time. A good time to make a couple spores. I can change the rally of this space. Okay, I don't know where those adepts went, but I do want to check. Okay, there's no base here. I feel like they're going to be hanging out by some proxy. Yes, okay. So this is an all-in. Let's get a spine. We could also get a roach warren. Just play it solid, play it safe. DTs, I think, are the best units to make in a one base all-in scenario, but sometimes people choose to make a different unit. DTs into Zealot Archon, I think, is the absolute pinnacle of decision making for Protoss here. We can probably, yep, it's DT. Charge Lot Archon. So this is a smart player. They know how to use their brain, their head, and their mind. Sometimes all at the same time. So now I'm just going to be massing Roachling. I'll make roaches until I run out of gas, and then I'll make lings with any extra minerals I have. Nice. Archon down. Okay. So we can fall back to 2 bases, and we're still technically ahead. I'm going to cancel those, because I don't think they would make it. I don't think they would make it. If I could kill an adept or something, that would be nice. No. Alas. Can't always get him. Okay, so I know by virtue of this Overlord that it's still a 1 base all in. But look at my roach count, it's getting very large. Very large. So when they arrive at my base, we should be pretty sturdy right now. Look at how sturdy we are with roaches. You see, this is like a mini version of what happened last game against this player, where they try to cheese us with the gateway all in, but the roaches are just too tough. You see that? And now we can just power up. Just powering up. I see lots of DTs. But does it matter? Let's just get another spore. I don't want to lose my spores. Now what will you do? Let's just get a spine. Invincibility lies in the defense, the possibility of victory in the attack. But sometimes you don't even have to cross the map and you win, because the opponent commits so hard to trying to bash their head through a brick wall And then they're just like, ow! And their head is hurt, and then they're like, I guess I'll leave now. Sometimes that happens too. They're just killing my overlords. Do you know what you don't need overlords for? Spine crawlers. Let's get roach speed. They're just brutally attacking my overlords. I made a bunch though, should be fine. We can drop creep on their second base. You know you're always in an interesting game when you're dropping creep at their second base. Hey, roach speed is going. We've got a lot of good stuff happening here. We've got 2 bases, look at this. We're just sturdy. And transfuse. And it's just roach queen. It's tough. It's like, wow, that's a big attack, but roach queen. You can't punch through it. It's just too tough. Has Neuro ever used Spotify or made an account at any point in his life? No, actually, I have not. One base is always all ins? Well, it isn't macro.